Hello, this is Afrit. Today I want to show you how to use your CoVAS with your thermal device and how to align the data later in Excel. So let's do this together. Let's, for instance, choose this three destinations with baseline. Let's first look at our CoVAS settings. We'll go to test settings, and here in the bottom we can see what the sampling rate for the CoVAS is. So the higher the sampling rate, of course, this is the number of samples per second, the more resolution you will have in your results. So maybe I don't need 50 samples per second, maybe 10 samples per second is enough for me. And if I have decided upon this, I can click apply and then I can click OK. Let's run this test for a second. And I'll just pretend I have a CoVAS here and I'll rate it with this slider. So let's say, right, this hurts just a little bit. Not anymore. Let's say right about now it starts to hurt again. Maybe not so much. Now for the cold. Cold is not very painful, but maybe just about now it starts to hurt a little bit. And now it doesn't hurt anymore. Okay, so this is our thermal data as well as our CoVAS data together at the end of the test. Let's save it. And let's go look at it in the results section. And this, let's see what it is. This must be it. Of course, you all remember how to export this to Excel, but for those who don't, you click on File, you choose that data, and you click on File, you press Export to Excel, and let's put it, for instance, in my Download section. Okay. Now let me open that up. And this is the file that I have. So this is the timestamp for the thermal data, and you can see 15, 35, 55, 59, 67. And if I look at the CoVAS tab, you will see that the timestamp is much different. It's 1515, 215 every 10 times per second, right? Every 100 milliseconds. And this is what makes it not be aligned. So if I just would take the CoVAS data, Control C, don't do this at home, right? Control V, and then I'll put this together with the temperature on the same graph. We'll get a very weird graph because this is not what happened during the first stimulus. This was what happened during all three stimuli. So let's just do away with this, and we will not do this, right? So this is how not to do it. Let's talk about how we would do it. Let's just make this column CoVAS, and this is the column that I want to make. Now we are going to straighten out the data and put it all together. Equal sign, and write please V lookup open the brackets, and we want here the lookup value is choose the first timestamp on this tab, comma, table array. Now we go to the CoVAS tab, and we choose both of these, so both the timestamp and the CoVAS data, and we'll go all the way down. Okay, so you want to have all the data in there, comma again, and now you want to write two, because these are two columns, and now we close the brackets, we enter. Okay, we're not done yet. Get on the where we put the formula on this A2, right? So this is the data from the CoVAS. We want to fix it, so let's press F4. And also at B722, again, we want to fix it, press F4 again. And now we press enter. This should be the correct data. Let's double click it. Now it's spread over the same timeline as the temperature data. And now we can choose these two columns and make a nice graph out of it, and have it all on the same timeline as we collected the data. I want to show you the difference between different sample rates. For instance, this is 1 sample per second. Okay, and when we have 1 sample per second, we have a different resolution to our results than if we have, let's say, 50 samples per second. But these are very, very high frequency results, where this is very low frequency results. And really, based on your protocol, if you're going to collect pain data from your patient for over an hour, you may want to run a little pilot and see that your computer memory and your Excel will be able to handle it. So this is mostly dependent on the memory, working memory in your computer and in your Excel to be able to handle such a large amount of data. And possibly you don't need such a high resolution if you're going to look at an hour worth of pain ratings over time. But if you're looking only at a few tenths of seconds, then you may want to have higher resolution data like this one, where we have 50 samples a second. So this is really up to you to decide what sample rate you need to use, but do try it beforehand and see that your computer, your Excel and your memory is able to handle that amount of data. Good luck!